Hey,
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 how's it going?
how it's going? Just made it in
Yeah.
time. I'm scared of my
Oh
teeth.
my God, I loved your stories today. I love all your animals.
Oh, I can't.
I don't know how
I wish my cat would come home. She still can come home. I mean, it's cheaper. I won't lie. But she was a barn cat. Like we rescued her. We don't have like a relationship per se with the barn cat.
I would love to have like all of the animals, but I feel like I'd get so attached that when they died, I would just like be crying all the time.
That's my problem and my concern, if I'm honest. The girl that I've been watching. Hey, Shelly. The girl that I've been watching like this whole time, who's also like-minded, and she lives close to me too. Like she's had goats and chickens, and I've just kind of been learning from stuff that she's sharing about like the collagen and go in the feet of chickens, and like she's just she's going right back to like full homesteading and stuff, right? Her goat had 3 babies. Two of her babies just died like in the last 3 days, and the mama died yesterday. I know. So now all she has left is like the little buckling and the daddy. And that, like, the whole purpose of having goats is to have milk, right? Like they're milk or meat. Like you're either going to eat them or you're going to milk them. So you only have the boys if you're going to breed. And so now she's like, I'm getting rid of my goats because, like, well, fuck, I this.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Right. And then like I'm thinking about that and I'm like not sure if my goat's pregnant and I'm like, if Megan can't, so this is what I'm starting my call tonight, kind of like you did, right? Like talking about self-belief and like getting rid of those limiting beliefs and retraining the RAS and stuff, because when you start to see those things, then you start to believe them about yourself and you're like, if she can't do it, then I can't do it. And I start second guessing and then I'm starting to be like, oh man, maybe like I bit off more than I can chew. Because she made it look so easy, but like she just had 3 goats die. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know if I can handle it.
Yeah. But maybe that's like, that's a completely different situation. So things could be like
softening. This is the softening for me where I can be like, oh, okay, if she can do it, so can I.
yeah. Oh man. But they're just all so cute though. Like, oh my God. So cute. How are you doing, Shelly?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
It's almost your bedtime, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. And
Yeah, you're that early morning riser. I've been trying to do morning workouts now. I tried to get on this morning, but I slept in a bit, but I did make it for 7, so I was proud.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about trying? Like you did, as far as I saw, you were on Zoom this morning with the Zoom crew. So what's this trying story you're saying?
Yes, thank you, Alita. That was 2 days in a row. I did it yesterday and today.
Like why do we do that? Why?
I know.
Early, and I was like, where is everybody?
Left you hanging, Shelly.
How long were you on there before everybody jumped on?
Well, there was one girl that I didn't know, and I think I got on about 6:45. It was like a good 20-ish minutes.
Oh, was it Amber? Was she on with
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been on with her yet because her kids go, like, she's earlier than me, not in the same time zone. But that's why I kind of like the weekend warriors, like, and you never know who might happen to show up. Like, even though, like, I know for some people it's 10 o'clock in the morning or something, it's just, you never know who might show up because they decided to sleep in, but they still want to do their workout and they're going to make, you know what I mean? Like, it's not always the best time for people, but it's neat when people know that you're consistently showing up there at that time and they show up and like, it's such a great surprise,
Yeah. Zoom has already grown so much. Like the amount of people on Zoom now is like insane. Like it's great.
I want to talk a little bit about that, like in tonight's call too. I feel like I should start because I tend to talk a lot, even though I don't plan on it. I wonder if I could put a post up that we're starting just as a reminder. Maybe just in the chat. Team call now. Hop on. What's our Zoom link? Hold on. Team call, right? There it is. Hi guys, hi. Thanks for sharing your time with me. I promise I won't waste it. I have to say, before I start recording, it was so cool last night. You guys know I haven't hosted calls and I've been so like fearful of hosting them for a number of different reasons for a long time, right? And I was sitting out in the hot tub last night. Mercury's in retrograde for any woo-woos out there, like pay attention to the universe and moon and sun and star stuff. Mercury went retrograde a couple days ago, and it means like a whole bunch of different shifts and stuff. And I was sitting in the hot tub last night and thinking to myself, like, if I did this live yesterday for 22 minutes, it wasn't intentional. It happened. And somebody said, like, do you have a recording of that? And I thought, no, I didn't think I was going to be good at it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't take the before pictures because I didn't think I was, I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have done that. I got in the hot tub and I was looking up, and it was such a beautiful, clear night. There's been a lot of smoke here, and it was super clear, and it was just all the stars. And I thought, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm doing it. Like, I'm getting my voice back. Hi, who's ever on your phone? I think it's probably Bridget. It is. Hi, Bridget. I was thinking to myself as I looked up at the stars, maybe I should just, oh, it is recording. Whatever, perfect. I thought, I'm getting my voice back. I'm coming back. Like, I can do this. And at that same moment, this huge shooting star came down and like burnt out. And I was like, oh my God. It was such a truth bump moment, Anybody listening, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or the high five habit or something like that, you start looking for things like, you're training your brain to look for positive things and signs and synchronicities and like, if that wasn't a powerful one, I don't know what was. Today I reconnected with an old high school buddy who's a couple years older than me. He's actually a dude, but I know that he went through some really rough times and was like on the street and like had to clean his life up and stuff, and went through a sober time, and he's a gym rat now, right? And I connected with him and was talking to him today. And from that conversation, I just wrote down the first paragraph of my first podcast episode. Do you know what I mean? When we start doing the work and we start to take away the pressure of the shoulds, and we start to stay in our own lane and just feel what we're in right now in our own life and truly lead with heart, it's like the pieces of the thing come together. And it's so incredibly evident when you're not doing the work. It's so incredibly evident when you're not doing personal development. Like, as I've been like preaching personal development for years, but you can tell in the way that my posts are right now that the type of personal development that I've been listening to is completely different. If I'm honest, when I listened to Moira Kusaba's call a couple weeks ago, and she said, if you're listening to a podcast, it's not personal development, it slapped me across the face a little bit. I was like, yeah, it is. It's still bettering me. But what she said was, you need to take someone's whole philosophy, like what they've learned in like 35 years, and take that philosophy and apply it to your life. You need to know from front to back, start to finish, and apply that to your life. And while there are some podcasts that do that, and they go through books and from chapter start to finish, oftentimes it's just a little snippet of something, and it's not a whole life's practice or a work or a thing like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or like a high five habit. It's not a practice of failing forward or stepping into leadership. I don't take it back. But it's so incredibly evident when you're not doing the work and versus when you are. Like, the whole energy, the whole tone, the whole feel of what you're doing. It's, Ali and I were saying yesterday, like, I don't want to just show up to show up. And oftentimes I think when we get caught up in life, we get caught up in the busyness and the noise. If we don't take time to slow down and actually process the things that are changing in our life, the things that we're learning, we just show up. It's just, here's my workout. I did this. I ate this. Like, so what? So what? Why? Why are you doing it? What is the purpose behind it? How is it helping to change your life? What is the intention behind what you're trying to do in the direction that you're trying to go with your life? And I'm just going to segue into sharing my screen. I did make a presentation today because it feels so awesome to see all these crazy, awesome presentations and feel like you're all professional and know what you're talking about. It does something to your confidence, does it not? And your belief in yourself. Like you see all these other people posting these things and you're like, I'm not a leader. I'm not a, right? Yes, I am. All I had to do was open a template, you know? It's actually so much easier, and that action breeds confidence. And like, I feel that right now. All right. You can stop me anytime if anybody has any questions. Oh, who is that? Hi. Welcome, Sheena. Okay. I don't know how to do this because I've never done it. So hold on. I pushed
And present. Yeah, you got it.
it didn't work. Every time I push it, it's not working. Third time is a charm, maybe. Let me try again. And not stress. Hey. Okay. So let's dive right in to simplifying the onboarding process. And I mean, this isn't just for coaches or for clients, but also for us. Like, I don't know about you, but when someone says, like, you're posting these things in your stories, you're posting and somebody says more info, I have one right now, like, raise your hand if you have that holy shit moment and you're like, well, now what? Like, okay, now I have all these things that I need to say and I don't know where to start, and I want to make sure that I don't barf on them, and I want to make sure that I don't fall through the, it's like, right? So let's simplify it, not just for them, but for us too. All right, how I got started. When your why is big enough, you'll find your how. When you have a vision, a mission, and a clear-cut why, you'll find a way to do the things to make it all happen. And I'm going to try really hard to not get emotional because I'm not going to become my feelings. My feelings can pass through me and I don't have to become them. I'm learning this. Anybody else become their feelings, Allie? Yeah, I know I'm speaking to someone here. So when I started this business, for those of you who don't know, I was actually on maternity leave with our second child. Shanna was like 2 months old. I was on maternity leave, and here in Canada, we get a year maternity leave. So that's what I expected, and I figured I was going to go back to my full-time job. But I got a call and they told me they were going to be restructuring the company and eliminating my position, and I had to reapply for my position while I was on maternity leave. This is all like gibberish, and they tried to make it legal, and then they paid me hush money so that I wouldn't sue them. They gave me a year's salary, okay, in all of this. So they gave me a year's salary, and in that time, I was home. Like, Shanna was about 4 months old when Sean started working away. And my parents lived in Ontario. I lived out in Alberta and was raising these kids by myself, had no clue what I was doing. Didn't have my husband with me, who was my soulmate. Like, it just was tough, you know? And before I knew it, life was starting to happen to me, and I started to wallow in a puddle of my own self-pity. I was drinking wine every night and going to bed late, and then like morning sucked and night sucked because the baby's like, it just was not a good situation. And then at that same time, while Sean was away on his first 21-day stint, my father-in-law, who's a chronic alcoholic, literally like wakes up, starts drinking, doesn't eat supper until 6 o'clock at night, like drinks a 2, 4.5 a day. He drank himself to death that month. And so it was like this massive wake-up call for me that like something needed to change. Like, obviously I was headed down a really not healthy path. So I started working out, doing all this stuff from home. and was doing my own thing, trying to like replace the alcohol. I needed to do something different because I was just struggling and suffering. And so I started working out from home. A friend of mine told me about this coach who had this group, and I was like, nah, I got this. I can do this all on my own. I don't need that support. I don't need that. And oftentimes we come up against people like that too, right? Like, I don't need a community. I don't need that. Like, I can do it on my own. Funny how quickly that changes, right? Tammy Ball, if anybody's in my group, she told me that she didn't need a community and she didn't need a group. And now she's like one of the most active people in there, and she contributes so much. It's amazing how people's opinions and perspectives change when you show up and help them change that perspective, right? So anyways, I ended up scrolling late one night, like thinking about these people, and I found Leanne and I messaged her, and I ended up being in her group, and all these people were doing these programs, and the programs were working. They were getting results, and what I was doing, I wasn't getting as much results. And so I just was like, okay, I don't know what you've got going on here, but you're helping a lot of people. I'm on this journey. I'm not going anywhere else. So I want to do what you're doing. So I bought my challenge pack and I signed up to coach that day because I knew that I was going to share what I was doing no matter what. I had already been posting it on social media. I was taking pictures. I was sending them to my husband because I was, creating these changes. We were living this life through phones because he works away. We still do. We still live our life through phones. But I had been documenting all these changes that I was making and the way that I was falling in love with my life. And so when I learned that you could make a business, and there was a coach in my own community, you may have heard her name before, Rosa Friesen. She was in the top 10 not many years ago. Rosa was making $850 a month at that time with Beachbody. And she had written it on her blog. And I was like, I'm not really sure how, but if she's just a local mom from my community, that's pretty badass. And like, I want to do that, I was using the same tools as she was. So like, how is she any different from me? So I made it my mission to chase her. I was like, I'm going to chase her. I'm going to watch what she does. I'm going to do what she does. My coach at the time, like national wake up calls, I was like, what's this national wake up call thing? Like, I was seeing these boards. She added me to her uplines group. So I was seeing the Success Club board, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but okay, I'm going to dive in and I'm going to learn about it. And I used my online office. My coach, like when I asked her about the national wake up call, she said like, the national wake up call is just a waste of time. Like, don't bother doing that. It's just, her vision of the business was very different. She was not really, I guess, if you will, wanting to build a big business. And so it wasn't very long before I built my business and kept growing and growing and growing. And she wasn't growing like that, but I continued to surpass. And so what I want to allude with that is that there is no limit to this, whether your coach is showing up or not, whether you are like 4 levels down from me, or you don't have your direct sponsor, it doesn't matter. Because ultimately we all have tools. We all have the back office, we all have the FAQ, we have a ton of stuff. That stuff never even existed before, right? And so many people have made success with this. So what I want to say is, I had a mission, I had a vision. I wanted to stay home because I was scared. I had worked at that job for 5 years and I did not want to start over. I didn't want to go and interview again. Like, I didn't want to, who wants to go and date after you've been married for X amount of time? I didn't want to learn again. I didn't want to start over. I was nervous and I didn't want to. And so I knew that not Sheena, I'm looking at Sheena's name. Rosa was making this money. And I was like, I knew what I was making on EI, and I knew that I had 1 year of that steady income to make it happen. So you know what I did? I leaned in, I learned, I applied, I grew, I adapted, I evolved, I created systems. I showed up when it was really, really hard. When I didn't want to. I rushed my kids' bedtimes at times. I rushed their dinners. My husband was away. I was like, I hosted calls every week. I never missed a call. I never didn't show up. I didn't want to get another text from my daycare person when my baby took her first steps. Like, that happened with Lena. I had to go to work. I didn't see some of those things. And you know what? Here was my opportunity. I was let go from this position and I had this in my hands. It was working for me and it was working for my life. And that alone was like, I am an expert. My journey, my story, my voice, that matters to another mom who's out there who needs what I need, who needs to stay home and who wants to be there for those first moments, or insert whatever it is that you have for your life. If you haven't pinpointed what it is that you want your life to look like, or better yet, what you don't want your life to look like. What do you not want your life to look like? Insert that. And then how are you going to do whatever it takes to use these tools that you know have changed your life in so many ways, to expand that ripple effect, to bring people with you, to help them change their life and expand their ripple effect. We grow our team and an empire is freaking birthed. It's born. That's how it starts, right there with us, right? But we have to have that vision. We have to have a place, a direction that we're headed. So what in the comments below is your goal for this month? What direction are you headed in? Do you have a plan? You know, how much money is it? Ultimately, every single one of us is here to build a business. We're not just here to show up and play and waste our time posting for shits and giggles on social media. We're ultimately here to build a business. Am I right? So if we want to do that, you need to have a monetary goal. You need to have an end goal in mind. You need to have where are you headed? What is the direction? If you don't know why you're doing this or have a clear vision in mind of what your life, what you want your life to look like and how this fits into it, you're going to have a really hard time showing up when life gets hard. You know why I kept showing up? I didn't want Sean to be working away anymore. We moved to Kelowna and I was like living in this beautiful place alone. Awesome. Got married to be alone. Awesome. Like 21 and 7 sucked. Then we did 10 and 4. He was home every second weekend. No, yeah, 10 and 4, 10 and 4. And then coming home on the weekend, you fly home one day, so you lose that day. You're trying to adjust coming home and like to having people around you the second day. The third day, you're trying to actually do something and enjoy your time with your family. And then the fourth day, well, and half of that third day, he's packing and doing his laundry and stuff and like trying to get his head wrapped around leaving on the fourth day. You know what I mean? Like the time sucked and it was really, really hard. We have a much better situation going on now. And that's a whole other story, and falls into Sean's goals and dreams. And he's finally doing that after so many years. Like it's amazing to be able to witness him in this position right now. I had my turn too, right? But wanting him home, it was like, I knew that I needed to offset the income that he was making up north. He was working up in Fort McMurray. And so he took a massive pay cut. We moved back to Ontario. He took a $100,000 pay cut. But I'm going to add income disclaimer right now. Everybody's income is due to their skills, diligence, and all that stuff. It was a lot of hard work and a lot of building and showing up and fitting coaching into the cracks of my life and not missing team calls and posting even when it sucked, and you know, showing up and having my own back all the time, to be able to make 6 figures, to be able to offset that $100,000 loss that we had. And we went back home. We went back to Ontario. And eventually, you know what? Sean also quit his job. He quit his job and we lived solely on our Beachbody income. From a man who told me, don't sign up to be a coach because your workouts will become your job, to us unknowingly relying on our one income from this. Like, mind freaking blowing. The pandemic comes, like, I've been able to coast. I've been able to just ride it out and bring on clients, but I want to build a team again, and I want to do those things, and we have these tools. And this is where I need to bleed that confidence into you guys and bleed that belief into you, so that you know that as long as you have this vision, we have the tools. We have every single tool that we need. All you need to do is have the confidence to believe in yourself, to show up. Act like a CEO. Do the things, see the results. If you want to build a business, you have to treat it like a business. You can't look at your activity tracker and say, oh, you know what, I'm tired today. I just, maybe you don't need to do the things on the activity tracker every day, but you still need to do them. So find a time to fit them in, okay? Chunk it down. Maybe it means that you only do inviting on Wednesdays, because after you've posted on Mondays and Tuesdays, you've had so much content and so many people in your inboxes that by Wednesday, you're ready to do the invite. Like, maybe it means that you chunk it down and you slow it down. But you got to get a handle on the things. You got to do the things and act like a CEO. The sacrifices that you make now will change your life forever. Take messy action. You've got to do the work for the work to work. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can learn along the way. I actually heard this quote. I was on my way to school pickup, and what was it? I was listening to the High Five Habit, and she said, do your best with what you know until you know better. When you know better, do better, period. Right? How good is that? Do your best until you know better. When you know better, do better. And that's what this is. Take messy action. Plug into the one national wake-up call. Plug into the one Slay Squad call. Show up to the one team call and take messy action. Have something ready, a plan in mind, some sort of nugget that has inspired you to do something to move forward from this point. That action is exactly what's going to breed that confidence. And that confidence is what's going to help us to simplify the onboarding process. When we feel like an expert, you guys, and we know that what we have is available and there, the how is so super simple. We really overcomplicate it. Coaching is really me plugging into the system, helping other people to fall in love with it in the way that I did, and the way that my life is changing because of it, and helping them to have a vision for what their life could look like, because they're not going to quit doing this anyways. Why would they quit doing this? If we can cast that vision and tell a story that's so compelling, even if that story isn't for them right off the hop, it actually, I was reading a story to my daughter tonight, my 6-year-old, and like my 12-year-old on the couch, she's got her earbuds in. My 10-year-old also on the couch, she's playing on a game on her phone. And I sat down, promised Keelan I'd read her a book. So I started reading the book, and I used this intonation, and I was telling this story in such a way, I was paying attention. My 12-year-old kept looking over. My 10-year-old kept looking over, and I'd flip the book and show the pictures. They were listening. It's not a book for a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. They were listening. I was telling a story, and it was so captivating and so compelling that they couldn't help but look. They couldn't help but listen. And that's what we need to do with this, with coaching. If we're showing up and we are telling a story that is so compelling, we are casting a vision of what life can look like when you start to apply and use the tools that we have and start to apply them to our lives. You cast that vision, people can't help but want part of it. So let's take a quick inventory. This was from the team call, Slay Squad call. Did anybody have a chance to go back and watch the replay or the recorded? Yeah, I watched the replay from the Facebook group. They did post a YouTube video as well. It was a recorded presentation that was very similar. I watched the replay, and so I grabbed this from hers because I thought it was really great. Because oftentimes when we have that RAS, like these stories, we're saying we're building a business, we're building a business, we're building a business. And then sometimes we look for evidence and proof of why it's not working. If we're not making money, we're not hitting Success Club, we don't have new clients, or my challenge group's not, like, where are my people? Well, are you showing up and being a CEO? Are you actually doing the things? Are you plugging into the personal development? Are you listening to the national way? Are you learning? Are you adapting? Are you applying? Are you telling a compelling story? Are you being a CEO? So use this exercise to help you grow, not to shit on yourself, not to shame on yourself, not to make yourself spiral, but to focus on a couple areas to improve upon. Pick a couple and take messy action. This consistency is going to breed success. Are you hitting Success Club every month? Is that your goal? If it's not your goal, it should be your goal. If this is your business, you want to make money, that's going to make sure that you have residual income coming in all the time. If you, like me, wanted to make this a business, it was like, I was watching people and it was Success Club, don't get me wrong, Success Club is not everything. We can help people in a lot of different ways, but that to me was one of those measures. It was like, if I hit Success Club, I wanted 10 and I did it consistently for 7 years. And then I missed it for 1 month and I've done it for 5 ever since. I think it's been 20 and 6 and 5 and whatever. But that 1 month that I didn't hit it, it did hit me like a ton of bricks. It didn't define me. I know that there's other ways that I can help people, but I had set that as one of my goals in my business. And having that as a goal in my business and having a vision, knowing that I wanted to have Success Club 10 every month, that meant that I was helping at least 5 people every month. I knew that I was going to build a business big enough to make that money to bring my husband home. And I stopped at nothing to show up and just to keep doing it, to keep connecting with people. And like the kids went to bed. This is when I started drinking wine again back in Kelowna. I'd open a bottle of wine and I had this thing called Green Means Go. We talked about this in Ottawa, Green Means Go, where it was just like whoever's online, just get in chat, go through their posts, start seeing what they've been posting on social media and go and connect. Just Green Means Go, just go and connect and start talking with people. It was just fit it in and show up and connect. That's part of my business activity tracker, right? I used to post Green Means Go, guys, like set aside 10 minutes, anybody. So you can do that with Instagram now. You can go on and see who's got their active status. You can do that now still. Green Means Go is still very valid. You can do that with people who have stories. You can do that with people who are commenting. You can do that with people who are liking. Anyways, I can share these slides so we can come back because like I'm not even started on this presentation. I need to keep moving. But coaches, we show up differently. We're not just challengers. We're trying to bring people with us. We're showing up when times get tough. We're learning how to pick ourselves back up when we fall down. We use that community and we use those things like calls, national wake up call, personal development to continue to build ourselves up, to get that work ethic, to start to build those consistent habits so that we can become leaders. But we have to become more than just challengers if we want to build this into a business. We have to show up more than just, I did my workout today, and more like, this is how this system helps me to bust through this objection. Insert why you couldn't make it to the gym before. Like think about your story. What is it in the seasons of your specific life and where you are at? What is it that you've gone through that you can tell a story that's compelling, that you can bring people with you and provide this solution for them? If you're actually plugging into your personal development and acting like a CEO, you have no reason to waver in your confidence in any of this, ever, whatsoever, unless you're comparing and you're starting to despair and you're starting to spiral. Building confidence in this business is I think it's the most important thing, because I think that self-doubt and that those negative self-talk things can spiral us into complete inaction, where we're paralyzed and we do absolutely nothing. And this is where like the how of onboarding is so much easier when you have the confidence and you trust yourself. You know that you're an expert. Your daily life is your story. And the thoughts, those things that you think about in your head, that you ruminate about when you're doing your workout or when you're walking around your house, those are gold. I often say, like, Sarah and I will have a conversation and I'm like, I don't know this from your Instagram. I don't know this from what you've posted. Like, I wouldn't know that you're going through this. Like, that's the shit you share. Why are you keeping it to yourself and only to your best friend or the person that's closest to you? Think about your stories. Not so we shit on everybody and like share our troubles with other people, but it's those things that you would keep to like talk about with your friends, those stories when you meet up and, oh, you have to hear what happened today. That story matters for them. You have to start placing yourself in this leadership position and envision yourself as this Melanie Mitro or whoever the leader is that you aspire to be, who rocks that. You are her. Step up and be her. You already are her. You're the expert of your own story. And when you step into your power like that, and you start to share that voice that's within you as if somebody else gives a shit, that's when this business is going to grow, because you're starting to build those authentic connections that come from your heart. And it's not sales driven and it's not numbers based. It's from your heart. And through those connections, the sales happen. The belief happens. The team can grow, but we've got to clear our lint trap. Fear kills more dreams than failure ever could. The overthinking, the paralysis by analysis, compare and despair. I want to host a free clean eating challenge, but I don't know what to do. But I, yeah, you do, because you're doing it. So why are you telling yourself that you don't know what you're doing? You got up, you drank your water, you are eating breakfast, you are eating lunch, you are eating healthy dinners, you're using Fixate, you're plugging into your system, you have work. Yes, you do. You have it. You have the tools. But where focus goes, energy flows. I was talking to my daughter today after school, and she was talking about this issue she was having with her friend and how sad she was. And I was like, baby, I gotta stop you. You've got this bucket right here. This bucket is full of happiness. You've got so many happy things going on in your life. So many things have been good in your life. And right now, your bucket sprung a leak. It's got a hole in the bottom. It's all coming out. It was like you're focusing so much on this one sad thing that happened that your joy, your bucket, all your joy is draining out. It's just trickling out. You got to plug your holes. Plug the freaking holes. You're going to find exactly what it is that you're looking for. Kendra, stop thinking dirty talk. But literally, it's like the compound effect of those like negative thoughts of like, oh, but I'm not good enough. Oh, but I can't do that. Oh, but I don't know. Yeah, you do know. We have to start clearing the lint trap and retraining our brain to believe in those things, to recognize that, yeah, we do know. Stop telling yourself that you don't know what you're doing. You are a leader. Show up as a leader. Bring people with you. You are on the journey. You're plugging into it, so you have nothing to not share, right? The years of experience, evidence and proof, it needs to be cleared away daily. You've literally got to take your fingers to the lint trap, retrain your RAS, and start to think differently about all of the things and literally swipe it away. Like, I'm not thinking like that. Before you go to post something and you're like, you start to overthink it. You're typing and then you're like, oh, but I can't. Keep writing, just keep going. Stop overthinking it. Like those innermost thoughts, retrain your brain, swipe away those, I can't post this, I'm not sure what I'm doing. When you believe in yourself and your tools, bring people with you, create this come with me attitude. It's not as daunting. It's not as scary. This is how coaches are born. They learn through experience how life is changing. It makes you an expert. You have exactly what you have, all of the tools to share this. And as those people come along with you, when those clients are starting to show you their before and after photo, and I just had one the other day post how her life is changing, like out of the blue on, well, Amber did it. And it's like instantly, it was like, I sent her a voice message and was like, Amber, like so many people's eyes have been on you as you've continued to just open up and start to share how your life is changing through the things that you've been doing. Like, why don't you start bringing people with you? Like you're not going to quit doing this. In fact, she has quit multiple times, but this time she's doing the inner work. We're doing the high five habit together, and she's not quitting. She's showing up in a whole different way for herself, and her life is freaking changing. Like I said today, when you change a mom, you change a family. Her family is changing. And like, she's going to be a coach, because I'm not stopping until she signs up to be a coach. Be the reason someone chooses to take a chance on themselves, to get up and change their life. Sheena posted a workout yesterday, and I saw that she had finished it, and I was like, okay, that's awesome, Sheena, but like, tell me more. Why did you do your workout? What are you gonna say that's gonna tell the other stay-at-home mom who's homeschooling her kid and who's overwhelmed AF right now? What are you gonna say to get her to get up off her ass and move? Give me more. How are you gonna inspire them to drink? So what? Be somebody's reason. The duplication part, I just wanted to show you guys this because when they talked about it on the National Wake Up Call, Kendra, when they talked about it on the National Wake Up Call, they're like, oh, you should have this checklist and you should have this. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. I don't want them to think like, I have to make this. Where is this? How? We have this. You guys, I've made them all. Okay? They're there. You can duplicate these. You can tweak these. Like I said, again, the how is so super simple. If you know that the tools exist, like just know in the back of your mind, when you have a new coach that's ready to start, you don't have to shit your pants and be like, okay, now I don't know what to do. So I can't post about inviting to my team because I don't know what to do after. Yes, you do. Right here, you have so many tools. You do know. There's tools everywhere in our back office. And these little things, like I said, it's like duplicating to make your life easy. This is so that people don't fall through the cracks. So I don't have to have the back and forth conversation for 45 minutes. And like a lot of you guys work full time. You don't have time? You have time. You have time, period. Like, let's keep it simple. So if you have a form, when somebody you finally said, you know, Sheena, sorry, I keep calling you Sheena. I think it's Shelly. You even have the form where people choose the selection of their shake. Like if you put in the work up front to create your system, to make what are the questions people are asking you all the time? Make a note for that. Like, what is the recipe everybody asks you for? Make a note for that. This is how duplication starts, right? You can use somebody else's tools, but if I'm honest, I found it really overwhelming to duplicate other people's tools. I found it the best to look at somebody's tool and make my own. And so all of these tools, you don't have to use these tools as they are. They're all in editable versions. If you actually look over here on the Empower Empire on the far left, on that website, the editable version at the very bottom, I don't know if you can see it, says, no, you can't see it. Anyways, they're on there. I've shared the Canva editable versions on there for the new coach checklist, which is over there, as well as the new challenger checklist. It just helps that confidence. Again, like you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about knowing all the things, aside from like literally knowing that we have an annual Beachbody On Demand and a total solution challenge pack. Those are really the two things that I show people and talk about ever. That's how I get people started. It's either I start them off, okay, are we just going to get you started with the annual, or are we going to get you started with like all the things, like all the videos to make sure that you know what you're doing, and you know, just knowing those two options, and it simplifies everything. You can tweak and perfect as you learn, as you grow, but having that confidence that you have, that like it's so super simple when you know that the tools exist and you can plug into them. The duplication is key, but it's also learning to do those things when it's time appropriate. So like having an email list, start your email list right away. Get people's email list right away. That's why these challenge, like these forms, the sooner that you have them, the sooner you can open your door for business and you can start reducing the back and forth and the time, I don't want to say wasted, but kind of the time wasted. You start to perfect the questions that you ask, which they talked about on the National Wake Call a couple weeks ago. Perfecting the questions that you're asking so that you can simplify getting them to that place. But like once we've told them, like, okay, this is how we're getting them started, now this is when our job begins. Now it's our job to get them results, to help them fall in love with the process and to just stay going, to come with us, to show up on Zoom, to post in the accountability group. You know, that's one of the reasons why I have the bingo thing too, is to try and get people engaged and showing up and doing things that they wouldn't normally do, like share a recipe. Just simplifying the process for all of the things. But we can't do any of that if we're not expanding our network. We can't be serving the same chips to the same people at the same party. I can't be like, hey, Kendra, Sarah, Sheena, Shelly, Ali, I've got these salt and vinegar chips. I've still got these salt and vinegar chips. If you want some more salt and vinegar chips, like at some point you have to invite new people to your party. Your party's going to get stale, or you're going to have to start offering new food, like change up the mute. Like we have to expand the network, or it's going to get stale. It's going to get dry. You're not going to have that energy, the fire, the blood. You don't have people to tag. You don't have, you know, you always have to have people in your wheelhouse. But how do we do that? Do you know how to expand your network? To be honest, when I started coaching, I went to the Popular Girl in High School Facebook, and I just started adding all her friends. That's what I did. Well, I did. I mean, I had nothing to lose. What could they do? Say no? Like not accept me? What did I have to lose? Oh, you don't want to be my friend? We're not friends anyways. Like, that's okay. Nothing to lose. Everything to gain. Instagram, I find, is so much easier though. I love stories. I love connecting through stories, and I find that it literally makes life so incredibly easy. But if you don't know, or you haven't been expanding your network, and you're posting and you're wondering like, why is nobody joining me? Have you added any new people? Are you following new people? Are you engaging with new people? We have to be expanding that wheelhouse and having fresh people, fresh eyes on us if we expect to be helping new people. Unless you continuously grow and you're always just getting new followers, that can happen. You know, attraction marketing is such that people are often in your inbox and you don't have to send as many outward messages. But if you're not connecting with those new people, then you don't really have anybody to bring with you. And so it doesn't really matter if you're simplifying the onboarding process because you have nobody to bring with you. So make attending these a priority. These are also going to help you to learn to better utilize your time. They are literally power hours. They're working hours. They're going to teach you, and there's different days for different things. Like there's an emerald training one. There's a how to prepare your week power hour. So like what it looks like to sit down on Sunday and prepare your whole week. They have power hours for connecting, for inviting, and for following up. So if you don't know what you're doing for connecting or inviting or following up, get on a power hour and learn. These are literally 15-star diamond, double-star diamond, double superstar diamond coach. They're not me, like they're way top level coaches who continue to show up on these power hours every week. And like things change all the time too. And so they continue to teach you those things. And so if we know that we have these tools, you don't have to teach your coach how to do it. You just have to teach your coach how to plug into the same shit that you're learning from. Like, it's not my job to regurgitate what I'm learning to them. My job is to plug them into the same thing that I'm learning so they can both go. Like, I got to post for my own people too. I'm going to bring my own people on, you know? So if we're all doing it, we're all plugging into the things, we're all feeling that fire, we're all feeling inspired, then yeah, you best believe when somebody joins the team page on Thursdays where we're all popping emerald like this, is that going to breed momentum? Is that going to breed confidence? Is that going to breed holy shit FOMO and like make people want to build this? That's where we're going. So like, are you on the ride? Are you coming with me? Because that's the way that we're headed. That's the direction. Woo! Okay. Following up with the likes, comments, messages, and views. The views are from stories, okay? I'm wrapping it up, I promise. These people are already watching you. They're your silent people who are saying, I want your help. Or I really like what you're about. I'm watching you. You're kind of a cool chick. I'm too scared to message you, so I'm gonna comment. Think about it like that, okay? Not, I don't know, I don't want to send any invites. I'm not sure if I have anybody to come to my challenge group. Yeah, you do. All those people who just viewed, liked, commented, like oftentimes they're actually more scared to approach us and actually ask for help. Help is like a big bad 4-letter word. Nobody likes to ask for help and admit that they have a problem. Okay, so take it as a silent, I need your help, and do your job and step up and message them. Thank them for liking, commenting, showing up, and boosting your confidence and helping you to remember why you show up on a daily basis and invite them. I realized today in one of my messages, this girl, it wasn't even a message, I apologize. I got ahead of myself. This girl on my Instagram, I see this post and it's like, it's a swipeable one, right? Which are the best ones because they spend more time on your Instagram. The longer they spend, the more they're gonna see of your stuff. Smart, right? So I'm scrolling and she's wearing this green jacket and I scroll and I scroll and I scroll. Wow. Like, who is this chick? And I go back through our messages and I'm like, she's messaged me 4 times since I moved here. Not one time did I invite her. Not one. You know what her post said? It's amazing to have someone believe in yourself more than you believe in you. Her friend, just a friend, had her back and has been cheering her on. Imagine if that was me. Like, I sent her, I commented on her post and I actually felt this pang of like jealousy. I was like, it wasn't me that helped her. And then I went to my messages and I felt this guilt, like, shame on me. I was doing this presentation, like, I want your help, shift your perspective, shame on me. She messaged me like 4 times. When I commented on her post, you know what she said? She said, oh my God, fangirl moment. I can't even believe you just commented on my photo. Thank you so much. And FYI, I love following you and all the things. Your journey, your kids, the big move. Wow. Thank you so much for this. It means so much more than you could even imagine. Shame on me. Shame on me. So now I've got a voice message to her and you best believe she's coming with me. Like, I sent a voice message to her. She's like, I'm sobbing at work. I can't even reply right now. Like, I can't believe this. Like, it's so shame on us. We've got to do it. Like, what? They're more scared than we are. Like, stop being scared and show up and expand it. Like, that is like a real, and I've been doing this for 9 years. I'm realizing that I suck at opening that door. They're opening the door to connection. It's not always us that has to do the inviting. Oftentimes, they're opening a door too to connect with us. Engage, connect, DM 531. Many of you have heard about this. Add, like, when you get these new people in your network, you want to be the first name that they see. Like, wake up in the morning and they're like, who the hell is Alita Steele? What is that chick all about? Because they've seen your name pop up 5 times because it's been, you liked 5 posts, then you commented on 3, and then you messaged. They know who you are because they've seen your name. And if you're doing your social, and you're posting regularly, they're going to have their eyes on you. Okay, so getting used to doing these things, attending power hours, learning how to fit the things into your life, following up with the likes, comments, shifting perspective from the ick to they're opening the door, and then engaging, taking them from your cold market to your warm market. It's just, again, that confidence. When you have those people, they're in your wheelhouse, then you just have to bring them with you and get them to fall in love with the journey. And be confident in who you are becoming, but you've got to go first. Share everything that you have, all of the value that you have, not just that you're showing up for the workout or for the team call, but what it's doing for your life, what direction that you're headed. How is it going to change your life? How do you not want your life to look? What is coaching going to do for you? You have every tool right here at your fingertips. Every single tool to duplicate it, to make it easy. We just have to step into it, have a game plan, have a vision, and take freaking messy action. What's your game plan? How are you going to take messy action? I can share these slides so that we can go back and do the CEO inventory and make sure that, like, you know, what is the thing that I need to do? What is it that I need to do to level up from where I'm at right now? not shoulding on ourselves, not like anything other than where am I right now? How can I use my voice more now so that I can show up and step more into my power? And then knowing that I have these tools to duplicate, that's the easy bit. Plug in, bring them with you, right? And they show up on these team calls, and we all just keep growing. We all just keep evolving, and like the momentum, it just builds from here. See, Sarah, this is my secret. I didn't look at the chat at all. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get through any of that. my whole can't get plugged yet until Sean gets home tomorrow night. Coming. Oh man. Does anybody have any questions? Trying to see if there was anything in here. Oh, I love that, Shelly. A like on your post. Like, it's amazing how it really is. It's easy if you see it as that. Like, how did you start the conversation? What did you say? What was your, I think people get so scared. Like, what am I supposed to say? And there are templates for that. They're right on the team training site, like the simple tools to move your business forward, the connection scripts. But like, what do you say? What did you say from that post to get that person to trust you and to come with you?
I usually just ask something really simple, like if they're on their own health journey. And it just starts the conversation.
It's funny that you said that. You're like, it's just really, what about with coaching? Like, it really is that simple too. I was looking at this Life Squad call, like the replay, and her script, the first one, it was like, it said, hey, you've been really rocking at this journey, and I just want to say, like, I'm so proud of you. Have you ever considered doing what I do? Have you ever considered being a coach? Like, it really is that simple. And I think that if you have that engagement and you have your people in your group and you're providing that value in your community where they want to be a part of it, and they're starting to break their own cycles, and they're starting to show up for themselves in ways that they haven't before, they start to like, what's not to love? And like, they're not going to quit. So if we can cast that vision and get the 12-year-old and the 10-year-old to look at us when we're reading a book to a 6-year-old, we can cast that vision. Like, maybe they don't even know what's missing in their life. If I'm honest, and the world in general, like, times aren't getting any easier. Finances are getting harder. And a lot of these people need sanity. They want tools to take care of their health. They're using them anyways. You're going to be, learning other new things at work, spending your time doing X, Y, Z. Why not use it in a way that can be productive for you, so that when you're in a situation where your furnace goes or you lose the tranny in your car, you're not fucked. I'm being honest. I remember when our it wasn't dishwasher, it was our clothes dryer. One of the first moments that Sean started believing. Some of you may even remember this post. Allie, it was a long time ago. Our daughter needed a big girl bed because our crib broke right before we needed, anyways, our cribby broke. We needed a big girl bed. The TV stand that I had didn't fit in my new house in the right spot. And then what's the clothes washer? What's a washing machine? Our washing machine, all at the same time. And I was like, well, this sucks. Number one, I was freaking She-Hulk, and I got that washing machine out of my house, proud AF, posted that on Facebook. It was half full of water. You know why? Because T25 and P90X3. You best believe I posted about that. And then I paid cash for that bed, that TV stand, and that washing machine from my coaching paycheck. Yeah, I did. Income disclaimer. But like, if I didn't have that, like, I would have had to wait for the TV stand and be like, that's an eyesore and I hate my living room for a little bit longer. My kid would have slept on the floor and I would have been like hand scrubbing my clothes. I had the cash. People don't have that cash right now. We have the ability to do that. And it's like as simple as literally plugging somebody into bot and you make 40 bucks. Just do it. you know, cast that vision, tell that story, but you got to explain how your life is changing in order for people to want to join you. Because if you're not sharing about that and like bringing people with you in how it feels, how life feels and how life is different, they're not going to join you, you know? And if we are paralyzed by that inaction and we do nothing because we're stuck in repeating those RAS stories about ourselves, that we're not good enough, we don't have a voice to share, we're not a leader, well, then you're just making way for me to help that person or for somebody else to pick up that client, right? We each have a voice and we each have a season and a place that we're in right now that speaks to somebody who needs the tools that we have right here to help them change their lives in the same way that we are. Okay, I talked for, oh my God, a whole hour. I was absolutely terrified that I wouldn't even be able to talk for 15 minutes. I'm sorry, that was really long.
It was amazing. Thank you, Alita. So good. So many nuggets.
Good, I hope. It's interesting when you start to shift the way that you think about yourself, and you do. I remember when it was like, I know that we're not supposed to say fake it till you make it anymore. You're supposed to say face it, or face it till you embrace it or something. But I'll be honest, I faked it. I showed up like the leader I wanted to be. Plain and simple. Like,
or like be her now.
Yeah,
like, be her
I was
now.
gonna message you earlier because I was like, there's a statement and I don't know what it is, and I couldn't remember what it was, and I was like, it's something about being the person that you want to become. Yeah, that's what I mean. And it really was like pretending like I had this big team, and like it was because that's the direction I was headed. I was part of a big team, but I just, yeah, we have to be her. Be her now. You are her already. Be her now. Oh, I'd like it. We should make a shirt for that. Sticker. Be her now. Remember I made that list of stickers I was gonna print? I forgot all about it. It's in this book. Squirrel. Okay, I should let you guys go. Does anybody have any questions?
We need a picture though.
Oh yeah, FOMO. Street cred. Let's close the chat so that it's not there. Can I do that?
Are we just going to do one picture and then share it, or is everyone taking their own? And that way we don't have like 52 phones in the screen?
Yeah, sure. I have mine. Yeah. I'm good. I can share as long as everybody can crop my photo after, because my computer's always in it. Ready? Cheese. Do you want to take like a little video or like a, no, or is that silly? Remember we used to do, what were those things called? Boomerangs? We used to do boomerangs. Are those cool anymore? Or are they like old news?
I miss those.
Well, I think we can like do something like this, and everybody can make it into a boomerang. Let's just do it.
Allie, you can't punch me from over here.
Punch you in the face. Oh my God. Not everybody knows that story.
Don't make reels with Allie.
I feel like Kendra and Allie together, it would be really good.
I think that would be
Like
amazing. I think we would.
Okay, guys, I'm going to share this recording when it's available, and I will share the slides too. And then if you have any questions, you can post underneath, and anything about the duplicatable stuff too.
I missed part of it.
That's okay. There'll be a recording.
I had to get Sophia to bed.
That's all right. You fit in what you
I missed a little bit of it. I can go back to watch it.
You're still here. And it was long. So thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I can't end the meeting. Why not? I can't do it.